Country music has gifted us with legends whose voices echoed tales of love, heartache, and life's trials. However, once these artists left this world, unexpected truths and personal revelations about their lives began to surface. What's truly fascinating is that many of these insights were things we never picked up on while they were alive. Get ready as we uncover astonishing details we only learned about 15 country music icons after they passed. Number 15. Roger Miller. Roger Miller was instantly recognizable for his witty lyrics and infectious melodies. If you've ever listened to his music, you'd quickly notice his signature sound, a fusion of country, jazz, blues, and pop that made his songs truly unforgettable. Classics like King of the Road and Dang Me catapulted him to fame in the 1960s, earning him immense popularity. Over the course of his illustrious career, Roger amassed 11 Grammy Awards and was honored with induction into the Country Music Hall of Fame. Beyond his musical talents, Roger expanded his creative genius by penning and performing songs for Disney's 1973 animated film Robin Hood. He later composed the music and lyrics for the Broadway hit Big River, which debuted in 1985 and went on to win 3 Tony Awards. Yet behind all the applause and accolades, Roger struggled privately. His battle with substance use and his lifelong smoking habit quietly deteriorated his health. Tragically, this led to a diagnosis of both lung and throat cancer. The most surprising part? He chose to conceal his illness from the public, preferring instead to concentrate on his music and family. He never sought sympathy or made his illness a public matter. Ultimately, this illness claimed his life on October 25, 1992, at just 56 years old. Only after his passing did fans come to understand the magnitude of his health challenges and his courageous decision to endure them in silence. While this revelation deepened the respect fans had for him, many wished they had known what he was facing so they could have shown support during his final days. And just when you think Roger's story was a heavy sacrifice, wait until you hear about the next artist whose generosity flew entirely under the radar. Number 14. Conway Twitty. Conway Twitty was a revered figure in country music, celebrated for his rich baritone and deeply emotional ballads. Songs like Hello Darlin', You've Never Been This Far Before, and Linda on My Mind resonated with countless fans. His legendary duets with Loretta Lynn not only won awards, but cemented their place in country music history. But Conway's greatness didn't stop at music. Off the stage, he was a remarkably kind-hearted individual. He quietly gave back to his community, never seeking the spotlight for his charity. In fact, he founded Twitty City in Hendersonville, Tennessee, a combination of his home, a theater, and business offices. During the holiday season, it was a major attraction, dazzling visitors with its elaborate Christmas light displays. What many didn't know was that the proceeds were donated to support families of police officers and firefighters who had died in the line of duty. Tragedy struck unexpectedly. After performing in Branson, Missouri, Conway fell gravely ill. He was rushed to a hospital in Springfield, but sadly, he passed away on June 5, 1993, from an abdominal aortic aneurysm at the age of 59. After his death, stories began to surface, accounts of him quietly helping struggling families and fellow musicians financially, always without seeking public acknowledgement. These testimonials painted a picture of a man whose generosity was as vast as his musical talent. Conway Twitty's memory lives on, not just through his timeless songs, but through the lives he touched so deeply without fanfare. Number 13. Marty Robbins. Marty Robbins earned widespread acclaim for hits like El Paso, A White Sport Coat, and Big Iron. Yet his passions extended far beyond music. He had a profound love for auto racing, especially NASCAR. It all began in 1966 when Marty started competing in NASCAR events. Over a span of 16 years, he entered 36 races and achieved 6 top 10 finishes, including an impressive top 5 showing. He often raced cars built by the renowned NASCAR mechanic Cotton Owens, and his vehicles stood out with their bold magenta and chartreuse colors, frequently bearing the number 42, though he sometimes raced with 622 or 777. One of his most daring moments came during the 1972 Winston 500, where he drove 15 miles per hour faster than his qualifying speed. He later confessed to removing the mandated carburetor restrictors, just to experience what it was like to run at the front of the pack. Though fans knew about his racing career, few understood how deeply committed he was to it. Unfortunately, Marty's health deteriorated over time, partly due to the physical demands he placed on himself. On December 2, 1982, he suffered his third heart attack while driving near his home in Brentwood, Tennessee. Despite undergoing emergency quadruple bypass surgery, he passed away 6 days later, on December 8th, at the age of 57. While many admired his musical contributions, his unwavering dedication to racing only came into sharper focus after his death. It became a cautionary tale, a reminder that success means little if we neglect our health, the very thing that enables us to chase our dreams. Number 12. John Denver. John Denver was a beloved singer-songwriter known for his heartfelt, nature-inspired songs. Tracks like Take Me Home, Country Roads, Annie's Song, and Rocky Mountain High showcased his gentle voice and emotional depth. During the 1970s, John became one of the best-selling artists in America, with his greatest hits album selling over 9 million copies. However, despite his fame, Denver often felt alienated from the country music establishment. His sound, a unique blend of folk and pop, didn't align with Nashville's traditional country image. This led to a sense of rejection and made him feel like he never truly belonged among his peers. Some critics even considered his music too mainstream or overly polished for the genre. Tragically, on October 12, 1997, Denver died in a plane crash off the California coast while piloting a small aircraft. He was just 53 years old. After his death, those close to him revealed that he had long battled feelings of isolation and struggled to gain full acceptance in the country music world. His friends shared how deeply he yearned for recognition from Nashville, even as he soared in popularity elsewhere. His legacy remains a blend of immense talent and the quiet battles he fought behind the scenes, a poignant reminder of how public success doesn't always heal private wounds. Number 11. Loretta Lynn. Affectionately known as the coal miner's daughter, Loretta Lynn was an undeniable icon in country music. Her songs, filled with raw emotion and authentic storytelling, resonated with fans around the globe. Her commanding voice and fearless lyrics earned her numerous accolades and a special place in the hearts of millions. But even legends are not immune to life's hardships. In 2017, Loretta suffered a serious stroke at her home in Hurricane Mills, Tennessee. As a result, she had to cancel several upcoming tour dates and delay the release of her much-anticipated album, Wouldn't It Be Great? Just 1 year later, on January 1, 2018, she experienced another health setback, a fall that resulted in a broken hip. These incidents forced her to retreat from the demanding life of touring after nearly 6 decades on the road. Yet despite her health struggles, Loretta never lost her connection to her fans. She remained active in the industry in other ways, continuing to release music and engage with her audience. Her unwavering spirit and passion for her craft were evident, even if she couldn't perform on stage like before. Loretta Lynn passed away peacefully in her sleep on October 4, 2022, at her cherished ranch in Hurricane Mills, at the age of 90. It was only after her death that many truly realized the extent of the pain and challenges she had endured in her final years. Though her fans were aware of some health issues, few understood just how much she endured while continuing to put a smile on people's faces. Her strength and resilience are now a key part of the legacy she leaves behind. A woman who gave everything for the music she loved and the people who loved her back. Number 10. Kenny Rogers. Kenny Rogers stood out for his gravelly voice and his masterful storytelling through music. Let's be honest, everyone loves a good story, and Rogers delivered them through unforgettable songs like The Gambler, Lucille, and Islands in the Stream. These iconic tracks secured his status in the Country Music Hall of Fame. Throughout his career, Rogers achieved remarkable success, selling more than 100 million records across the globe, which positioned him among the most successful music artists in history. In 2015, Rogers announced that he would be embarking on his farewell tour, The Gambler's Last Deal, signaling his plan to retire from the road and spend more quality time with his loved ones. However, by 2018, he had to cancel the rest of the tour dates due to mounting health concerns. While specific details about his condition weren't made public at the time, it was clear that his health was taking a serious toll. On March 20th, 2020, Kenny Rogers passed away peacefully under hospice care at his residence in Sandy Springs, Georgia. His family shared that the cause of death was natural, but following his passing, it was revealed that he had been privately battling bladder cancer. The news came as a shock to many of his fans who had no idea about the seriousness of his health issues. Despite the illness, Rogers chose to step away from the spotlight and spend his final years privately, surrounded by those closest to him. Number 9. Charlie Daniels. If you ever witnessed Charlie Daniels performing live, you'd know he brought an electric energy that was impossible to ignore. More than a country music legend, Daniels was a passionate advocate for the U.S. military. His deep-rooted respect for service members was evident in his actions, though much of his charitable work happened quietly behind the scenes. Driven by his dedication to veterans, Daniels co-founded the Charlie Daniels Journey Home Project in 2014. The nonprofit organization was created to support veterans as they re-enter civilian life, offering financial help, rehabilitation resources, and vital connections to other veteran-focused groups. But Daniels didn't just stop with founding an organization. He worked hand-in-hand with Code of Vets during the COVID-19 pandemic, providing emergency financial aid to veterans facing hardship. He was also instrumental in launching the Charlie and Hazel Daniels Veterans and Military Family Center at Middle Tennessee State University in 2015. This center was established to help veterans and their families smoothly transition from military to civilian life. Though full of grit and heart, Charlie Daniels couldn't escape the inevitability of death. He passed away on July 6, 2020, at age 83, from a hemorrhagic stroke. It wasn't until after his death that many fans realized the full extent of his support for veterans. His generous legacy continues through his foundation, which has raised approximately $4 million to benefit both military veterans and first responders. Number 8. Merle Haggard. Merle Haggard faced numerous health setbacks, most of which his fans had no idea about. He endured a battle with lung cancer, which led to surgery in 2008, and he frequently suffered from pneumonia over the years. Still, Haggard's devotion to his music never wavered. He kept performing in spite of his health. In early 2016, his condition worsened due to another bout of pneumonia. Strangely enough, Haggard foretold his own passing, telling his family he believed he would die on his 79th birthday, April 6th. True to his prediction, he died on that very day. After his death, fans and fellow artists took time to remember Merle Haggard's immense influence on country music. His ability to express raw human emotion through his lyrics earned him a place as a true voice of the everyday person. Number 7. George Jones. Nicknamed the Possum, George Jones had an unmatched ability to pour deep emotion into his songs. But beyond the spotlight, Jones was fighting an internal war. Throughout much of his life, he struggled with alcoholism, which led to erratic behavior and missed shows. His battles with addiction culminated in a nearly fatal car accident on March 6, 1999. Driving while intoxicated near Franklin, Tennessee, he lost control and crashed into a concrete bridge. The crash left him with severe injuries, a collapsed lung and internal bleeding among them. That near-death moment served as a major turning point, motivating him to commit to sobriety. In 2012, he announced the Grand Tour, his farewell tour, signaling his upcoming retirement. Unfortunately, his declining health forced him to cancel many dates. On April 26, 2013, George Jones died at the age of 81 due to hypoxic respiratory failure. In the wake of his passing, stories about his rough past and the close calls he endured surfaced. Fans and industry peers reflected on both his exceptional talent and the tough personal journey he endured throughout his life. Number 6. Glen Campbell. While Glen Campbell had a string of chart-topping hits, his life was anything but easy. In 2011, at the age of 75, Campbell received a diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease. Rather than stepping back in silence, he bravely launched his goodbye tour, a heartfelt way to say farewell to his fans and the world. During this deeply personal chapter of his life, Campbell permitted a film crew to document his battle with Alzheimer's, resulting in the powerful 2014 documentary, Glen Campbell, I'll Be Me. The film offered a rare, honest view into his daily challenges, triumphs, and struggles. His last song, I'm Not Going to Miss You, was a poignant message that addressed his illness head-on. As the disease progressed, Campbell's ability to perform diminished, and he was eventually moved into a care facility in 2014. Throughout this difficult time, his family stayed by his side, offering unwavering love and support. Glen Campbell died on August 8, 2017 at the age of 81. His willingness to share his journey helped raise national awareness about Alzheimer's and inspired conversations around it. After his death, his wife Kim Campbell wrote a memoir titled Gentle on My Mind, In Sickness and in Health with Glen Campbell. The book gave readers a deeper understanding of their shared life and the challenges they faced together. It served as a heartfelt tribute and revealed sides of Glen Campbell that few ever knew. Number 5. Tammy Wynette. Throughout her life, Tammy Wynette endured unimaginable health complications. In 1970, shortly after the birth of her fourth daughter, she underwent a hysterectomy that unfortunately resulted in a serious infection. This led to painful internal scarring and long-term intestinal problems. Around the same period, Tammy developed obstructions in her bile duct that severely affected her gallbladder, causing relentless abdominal pain. One of the most astonishing aspects of Tammy's health journey is that she underwent over 30 major surgeries throughout her lifetime. These included the removal of nodules from her vocal cords and treatments for kidney issues. That is an incredible burden for any single person to carry. To cope with her constant pain, she was prescribed powerful painkillers, which sadly led to dependency. Her health battles, compounded by her personal difficulties, came to a tragic end on April 6, 1998. Tammy Wynette passed away in her sleep at her home in Nashville. She was 55 years old. Initially, her death was attributed to a blood clot in her lung. However, in 1999, at the request of her daughters, her body was exhumed for an autopsy. The report concluded she died from heart failure caused by recurring blood clots. Though traces of prescription drugs were found in her system, they were not deemed a direct cause of death. Number 4. Waylon Jennings. In 1958, Waylon Jennings met rock and roll legend Buddy Holly, a moment that would alter the course of his life. Holly not only helped Jennings record his first tracks, but also invited him to join his band as a bass player. This partnership led to Jennings being part of the infamous Winter Dance Party tour in 1959. Due to poor travel conditions and tight tour schedules, Holly arranged a small plane to get them to the next venue. Waylon was originally supposed to be on that flight, but gave his seat to JP the Big Bopper Richardson, who was suffering from the flu. Before takeoff, Buddy Holly and Jennings exchanged teasing words that later haunted Jennings for the rest of his life. Tragically, the plane crashed, killing Holly, Richardson, and Richie Valens. That loss left Jennings burdened with lifelong survivor's guilt. Following the accident, Jennings returned to Texas and stepped away from music for a while. He later moved to Arizona, where he formed the Wailers, a rockabilly band that became the house act at JD's nightclub in Tempe. His big break came when he signed with RCA Victor in 1965. During the 1970s, Jennings became a key figure in the outlaw country movement, working with Willie Nelson, Tom Paul Glaser, and Jesse Coulter on Wanted. The Outlaws, the first country album to be certified platinum. His most famous songs included Good-Hearted Woman, I'm a Ramblin' Man, and Luckenbach, Texas. He even lent his voice to narrate and perform the theme song for the Dukes of Hazzard. Despite his professional success, Waylon Jennings struggled with drug addiction, which he finally overcame in 1984. He continued his musical journey by joining supergroup The Highwaymen alongside Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, and Chris Christopherson. In his later years, complications from diabetes led to the amputation of his left foot in 2001. Waylon Jennings passed away on February 13, 2002, at his home in Chandler, Arizona. His death reopened discussions about the guilt he carried from that tragic day in 1959. Number 3. Hank Williams. Hank Williams, a true icon of country music, captivated the world with his deeply emotional songs. Born on September 17, 1923 in Mount Olive, Alabama, Hank was drawn to music from a young age. He learned guitar from a local African-American blues musician named Rufus Payne, who played a key role in shaping Hank's musical style. As a teenager, Hank Williams performed at local events and on the radio, eventually forming a band called the Drifting Cowboys. The group gained significant traction across the southern U.S., with classics like Your Cheatin' Heart, Hey Good Lookin', and I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. Hank demonstrated a remarkable ability to express raw emotion through simple yet powerful lyrics. Despite his rising fame, Hank battled serious health and personal issues. He suffered from spina bifida occulta, a painful spinal condition that led him to rely heavily on alcohol and prescription drugs. His deteriorating behavior caused the Grand Ole Opry to dismiss him in 1952, marking a significant downturn in his career. By the end of that year, Hank planned to perform at a New Year's Day show in Canton, Ohio. Due to bad weather, he hired a driver named Charles Carr to take him there by car. On December 31st, they stopped in Knoxville, Tennessee, where a doctor gave Hank a sedative for his back pain. In the early hours of January 1st, 1953, while driving through West Virginia, Carr noticed Hank had become unresponsive. He was later confirmed dead in Oak Hill, West Virginia. He was just 29 years old. The official cause was heart failure, though substance use was believed to have played a role. His death sent shockwaves through the music world. Hank Williams's funeral in Montgomery, Alabama, drew thousands of mourners. Even after his death, his songs continued to chart, and his legacy was cemented through his inductions into the Country Music Hall of Fame, the Songwriters Hall of Fame, and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. His music still speaks to new generations and influences artists to this day. Number 2. Patsy Cline. When it comes to singers with voices that stir the soul, Patsy Cline is at the top of the list. Born on September 8, 1932, in Winchester, Virginia, Patsy began performing as a teenager at local events and on radio stations. Her rich, expressive voice quickly caught the attention of the music industry. Breaking through in a male-dominated field during the 1950s was no small feat, but Patsy's talent prevailed. She signed with Decca Records and rose to stardom with hits like Walkin' After Midnight, I Fall to Pieces, and Crazy. Songs that highlighted her emotional depth and cross-genre appeal, combining country and pop elements. Her career was not without hardship. In 1961, she survived a near-fatal car crash that left her seriously injured. Despite the trauma, she returned to performing with incredible determination. Sadly, her life was cut short just 2 years later. On March 5, 1963, Patsy Cline died in a plane crash near Camden, Tennessee, at only 30 years old. She was returning from a benefit concert when the plane encountered bad weather and went down, killing all aboard. After her death, close friends shared that she had premonitions of her own demise and had even written farewell letters to loved ones in the weeks before the crash. Despite her early death, Patsy Cline left behind a powerful legacy. Her music continues to inspire and move listeners. She broke barriers for women in country music and left an indelible mark that continues to shape the genre today. Number 1. Johnny Cash. Known around the world as the Man in Black, Johnny Cash was a towering figure in country music whose songs resonated deeply with fans across generations. Born on February 26, 1932, in Kingsland, Arkansas, Cash grew up during the Great Depression, an experience that would later shape the themes of hardship, redemption, and humanity found in his music. His career began to soar in the mid-1950s, with iconic tracks such as I Walk the Line and Folsom Prison Blues. Blending country, rock, and gospel, Johnny Cash crafted a unique sound that made him a household name. In 1968, he married June Carter, a talented musician from the legendary Carter family. Their relationship became a symbol of deep love and creative collaboration, producing famous duets like Jackson and If I Were a Carpenter. Despite battling substance abuse, Cash found strength and stability in his relationship with June. After June passed away in May 2003, Johnny Cash's health rapidly deteriorated. He died just 4 months later on September 12, 2003, from complications related to diabetes. One particularly touching aspect of Cash's legacy emerged after his death: personal love letters he had written to June. Among them was a heartfelt note for her 65th birthday in 1994, which revealed the tenderness and passion he held for her. These intimate letters gave fans a new glimpse into the man behind the legend. Along with handwritten notes to friends and family, they painted a picture of a deeply connected and affectionate man. Many of these keepsakes are now preserved in the Johnny Cash Museum in Nashville, allowing visitors to explore a more personal side of the legendary musician. His music, letters, and legacy live on, offering fans not just songs to sing along to, but a lasting story of love, struggle, and the enduring human spirit.